Assume you're going to give it a go tonight, Connor?
Yeah, I'll play tonight.
So, I guess how excited are you? How do you feel about getting into some game action?
I'm excited. Obviously, it's been a long layoff. The first preseason game is always exciting. This one comes a little bit later, but I'm just looking forward to being out there.
What was the final straw, the final go-ahead, the final green light that tonight's the night?
The docs just met, and they thought it was safe to play. So, and they knew I wanted to play. Everyone signed off on it. So,
When training camp began, would you have expected to have been playing by this point, or was your trajectory even a little better than you thought?
I don't know. It was. I mean, Ken said it right. I mean, we originally thought, hopefully one, maybe none. This is probably a little bit earlier, but everything's been feeling good. So.
Is there anything special you want to put up test tonight? You want to see if everything is back where it was?
I just want to play and just be out there and see what that feels like again.
Were you getting more restless as the kind of camp progressed and watching some of the games? Was that kind of starting to increase a little bit?
No. I knew the situation I was in. It's a little bit different than what everyone else is doing, so I definitely understand I need to be patient, but the doc said it's good, so we'll play.
Just mentally, is it?
I think if we read lips at that night, you might have thought you broke it, but here we are. Not to suggest that you feel lucky, but do you think that it could have been worse? And here you're back, and you haven't missed any time, and you're ready to go. And
I definitely feel lucky. Yeah, it definitely could have been worse. I could have been sitting there, and we're talking about missing a whole year. So, but it's not that, and we're looking to play tonight.
When it comes to feeling like you're back to 100%, do you need to get a bump? Do you need to take a first hit, or is there anything like that?
I feel like that's any injury. When I came back from my collarbone, sure you practice and whatnot, and you take bumps here and there, but nothing really replicates a game. So obviously that stuff is part of the game. So we'll see what happens.
Are you happy that starting tomorrow we're going to talk about something different?
I hope so, but you never know with you guys. So.
Connor, forgive me if you've talked about this already, but at any point was there any conversation with Mark Giordano about the play or about the? It's not like it was really dirty, but was there a conversation?
Yeah, he stopped by after the game before we left just to see how I was, which was nice, and then he reached out kind of in the middle of the summer as well. So I definitely appreciate that. He didn't have to do that.
Connor, does it help to have some familiarity on your wings with Leon and Zach, rather?
Yeah, for sure. It's always good to come back and have the same line mates you finished with. Jat and I played together a long time. Cass kind of sporadically, but we finished the year together, so looking to build on that.
If there were a main difference, we were hearing about this 5-men attack, 5-men back. If you were to sort of pinpoint a main difference we might see in the style you guys are playing, what would it be, do you think?
Well, hopefully faster. And you're seeing more of attention to detail defensively. I think that's the main thing. We got to find a way to keep pucks out of our net. Scoring goals isn't too much of an issue, although we weren't great last year. But we can score goals, so we got to find a way to keep them out of the net.
You probably know the answer to this, but because of the nature of how the injury was caused, you charging hard to the net, no regard. Do you look back and alter your game in any way so it doesn't happen again?
No, I've been doing that for a long time, and you hit the post and you hit it in the wrong way, and that happens. So I've gone flying into the net before and had nothing happen at all, and so these things happen. It's part of the game, and you move forward.
Has anyone tried to tell you coming to the game?
No, no one's tried that.
Your mom? That's kind of what I was thinking too.
No, she kind of stays out of that. But. All right, thanks guys.
Joel, morning skate, having a guy like Connor McDavid, what does having the team's captain and maybe one of the best players in the world do for you heading into this one?
Yeah, obviously, as you said, he's one of the best players, if not the best player in the league. So he hasn't played for a while now, and I guess he's really looking forward to play again. And of course, we're really happy to have him back. He's the captain and one of the top players for our team. So yeah, looking forward to that tonight.
Does that make you excited to maybe see him firsthand on the bench, seeing what he can do?
Yeah, of course. Haven't played with him before. Just seen him a lot, and it's gonna be fun to see him in real action.
So Joel, it looked like you were getting a look on the team's top power play unit. Maybe talk about the progression you've seen from yourself at camp and what's really allowed yourself to be in a position on the team's top unit.
Obviously, I feel better and better. I learned the game more and more for every practice goes on, the system-wise and the difference between the big or small ice. So, I mean, better and better. Still a bit to learn, I think, of course. So, but it was fun to play with to try to play with the top unit today. We'll see how it works out tonight.
What does that adjustment period look like for you? Because not only is it North American ice, but also a new coaching staff, new management, new teammates. How's that adjustment period been for you?
So far, so good. It's a lot of new things. As you said before, new staff, new country, new teammates, everything. So just been here for 3 weeks now, but start to get warm in the clothes. So yeah, we're looking forward to the game tonight.
Thanks, Joel. Thanks. Good luck today.
Coming to a new team and right at the start of camp, missing some time there isn't ideal, but been around a long time, been through a lot of different situations, so this one, you never get surprised by anything anymore, so I think I feel good the last couple of days and excited to get back in for a game.
Now, late last week, you were taking morning skates with Dustin Schwartz. And so was that just kind of fine-tuning the technical stuff? Would 2 games be enough for you to feel confident going into the regular season, 2 preseason games?
Yeah, my game feels, for missing as much time as I have already, I think it feels, I feel as solid as I did at the end of last season. So it'll be nice to get into a couple games and start feeling pucks again from, from different shooters and more game realistic stuff out there. And like I said, feel good about where my game's at right now. Nice to get back out there with the team tonight and feel it in the game.
You're supposed to play the whole game tonight, half the game. What do you know?
Just starting. That's as far as I know. So we'll see where it goes.
Like, you talk about the guys getting used to your puck playing ability. What about you getting used to new defensemen and little tweaks of the system? Or because you've played with Tip before and Jim, the system for you is pretty old hat?
Well, I think anytime you go to a new team, there's always adjustments that are made, and every player plays a little bit differently. So I think there's definitely a period of time where you're getting used to players and how they react to different situations in the games. And like I said, as a guy with playing the puck, there's an adjustment period with that too. But the more we're on the ice together and the more we start playing together, the more we get comfortable with that. And I've been talking about it a lot. So it'd be nice to get out in the game and start putting it into play here.
Mike, memory serves me right. You were in net when Connor hit the post.
I was. Yeah, I was.
Just a little bit about kind of what you remember and what you thought of how bad it was, and as he returns tonight for a first time.
Yeah, initially I wasn't quite sure. I was more worried, to be honest, about kind of trying to get out of the way because I had my foot kind of in between the post and him at the time, and then I kind of got it out at the last second and then tried to slow him down as he came into the net, but. Obviously, with a player that can skate as fast as he can and came in as hard as he did, there's no slowing a guy down like that. So I think initially I didn't think he was, hurt, and then when I saw his face, I could tell that, something wasn't right. So obviously, you never want to see a player, especially at his caliber, with a severity injury he had. But glad he's back in the lineup tonight, and hopefully he scaves any injury this year.
I'm sure you were zoned in, concentrating on your game. I don't know if you even would have noticed, but it took the whole air out of that game. Like, the crowd got quiet. there wasn't much juice in the game after that the rest of the way. It was kind of a weird night in Calgary.
Well, I don't think there was much juice to start with. You had a game that didn't mean much at the end of the season, and then obviously an unfortunate play at in the second period there to have one of the best players in the world, go out with an injury and didn't look very good. So, like I said, anytime any player goes down with an injury that thinks it's as serious as it ended up being, I think it's no player wants to see that and be a part of that. So glad he's back tonight, and happy I'm on the other side now.
You mentioned he's one of the best players in the world, but in your past experiences, when you have a dynamic player returning to the lineup, what does that do to the locker room and the guys around him?
I mean, he's arguably one of the best players in the world, and I'm fortunate to have a chance to play with a guy like that. I think I've played with a lot of good players throughout my course of my career, and to have a guy of his caliber on your team now is special, and obviously to come back gives the whole group a big boost. And there's not many players like him out there, so it's nice to be on his side now, and this group's excited about having him back tonight.
Thanks, Mike.
Bob, cell phone's off.
David, looks like Connor said he's going to play, but can you talk just about your first unit power play and Pearson and what you want to see from him going into that unit? The rest of the guys were the guys that were there last year.
I want to see if he can run a power play and the creativity he brings and the right shot there. Just he's the one guy that we're experimenting with right now.
Thank you. You can go. Okay. Just what have you seen from Matt Benning so far through camp, and what do you want to see, through the rest of it?
A little bit up and down, but it's, to tell you the truth, we've been evaluating some other younger defensemen more than him. Tonight will be a good test for him because he's going to get the partner that Chris Russell that he's played with before a little bit. He's in his role as that third pair, so we're looking for him to have a strong game tonight, but a good evaluation game for him tonight.
Dave, how hard was Connor pushing to get into game action, and do you have to handle him any differently tonight, just given what he's coming off of?
Well, we'll just get him up and going, but he's wanted to play for 3 weeks. I mean, it's between doctors and our organization, we just want to make sure everything is right. So he's practiced hard for 2 weeks, and he's itching to play. So I know he wants to get games in before. I don't know how many he'll play this week. We'll get through this first one, and then we'll figure it out. But he's been itching to play for a while. Depends how the game goes. We'll see how it goes. I like where we are. We've got a veteran group right now. We're trying to, through the first 4 games, we really experimented with a lot of people in different roles. Now we're trying to stabilize a little bit. And we're still going to, there's some guys that are going to play the last couple games after this. But I'd like to get a read on our lineup. And then when you look at your lineup, it's the stability of your lineup, how you use your lines, how you use your D pairs, the rhythm of the game that goes through, the special teams rhythm that you have to go through. So I'm trying to get a feel for where we're at with the players and just the mix we have right now. That's why we've gone with the real veteran lineup tonight. I want to figure out exactly where we're at.
Dave, quickly, Mike's going to get the start, but is he starting just for the first half or full?
First 40. I think we'll play him 40, yeah.
Okay, and now going back to Connor, obviously one of the best players in the world. In your experience, Dave, when a guy with that kind of game-breaking ability returns to the lineup, what does that do to the rest of the guys in that locker room in terms of leadership and game management on the bench?
Well, first of all, let's hope that we don't go out there and all watch him because he's part of it, right? And I felt like there was a little bit of that the other day against Calgary. Here comes Leon, and okay, let's watch Leon for a while. Like, it's a team sport. Everybody has to play. Everybody has to do their part, right? But that being said, Connor, he's obviously a special player. But I've seen it, we'll talk about he's been ready to go for 3 weeks or wanted to go for 3 weeks. He raises the level of practice just with the things he does, the speed he plays at. And it makes everybody else come with him. And hopefully that's what we see in the game tonight. Like he plays at a speed that very few players play at. And I'd like our team to all try to keep up to that speed because if we're playing hard and we're playing well.
Dave, what have you liked from that Nugent Hopkins, Neil Gagne trio?
Well, we had a plan to put Neil and Nuge together early, and we were going to experiment a little bit with left and right, or Neil on the left or on the right. Neil feels a little more comfortable on the right because Nuge is a left-handed shot. Neil's been pretty good in the games. He's played hard. He's played with good emotion. Nuge has obviously been good. And the one X factor was we're going to see who fit in there. And Gags has played 2 games there, played very well both games. So that's where we went back to him today. And there's some other guys, I think it's well documented. We were wondering where that spot was going to go, but I felt it was right to give it to Gags as a veteran player first to see how he's done, and he's played well. So he needs another good game tonight, but he's done nothing to say he doesn't fit on that line. So they've been pretty good. I'm interested to see how they play tonight, but they've been good.
Sorry, Dave. One more on Connor. Have you had a lot of people in the league reaching out to you, asking privately about McDavid's progress? Because my sense is that it's a topic all around the league that people really care about his progression and his recovery. Like, what has been your sense of just the idea that this really important person in the National Hockey League is coming off this catastrophic injury, and how is he going to be? Like, there just seems to be this anticipation, right?
If I had $1 for everybody that's asked me if he's going to play, then I'd be a rich man, So, and that goes for fans, media, everybody alike. So, yeah, there is. I mean, I'd say call it a special player, generational player, whatever you want to call him. I mean, when he's playing well, people like to watch him, and you don't have to be an Edmonton Oilers fan. You can be a hockey fan to watch him. And I know I watched him from afar, and now I get to watch him every day. So I'm happy about that. But there has been a real outpouring, and the bottom line, he's good for the game. I mean, that skill, speed, talent is good for the game, and he's a really good person to go with it. So it's everything our game epitomizes. That's a special person in that spot. So there's been lots of people reach out. I'm glad he's healthy. I'm glad he's raring to go, and hopefully he plays well.
Dave, you mentioned you want to get a feel for your team with the veteran. Do you have a feel of the penalty kill? It's been a real sore spot the last few years, and if you look, you got a lot of new penalty killing forwards. Shahan and Granlund, even Cave didn't do a lot of it. Russell, do you have a sense of what your penalty killers can give you?
I like what we're doing so far, but we'll knock on wood and leave it at that, right? We had the one game where I thought there was a couple bad goals in, but I like our structure. I like what we've been doing. But again, tonight's a night where we've got some designated penalty killers that we think are going to be guys that are going to do it during the year. So we'll see how it goes tonight. All right, thanks.